I, Archangel Michael, sacrificed my feathers to send you this message. If you ignore it, you'll lose me forever. Please open this quickly, or I will disappear. My dear child, you were never meant to read this so soon. But time has warped around your destiny. And I, Archangel Michael, had to do the unprecedented. I let go of the very feathers that have protected heaven for millennia just to reach you with this message. The wind shifted tonight, and in it, your name echoed louder than any battle cry I've heard in celestial realms. Something is approaching you, quietly but swiftly hidden behind a face familiar to you. Yet you remain unaware of how close you are to a life-altering event. You were marked for something eternal long ago, but something happened along the way. A twist in your journey. An alteration not ordained by God, but caused by human interference, greed, and fear. You are not where you should be at this moment. The threads of fate around you are tightening, and I couldn't just stand idly by. That is why I descended. That is why I fell. You felt it too, didn't you? That pressure in your chest at midnight, the way the air seemed denser even though no storm was coming. That was me arriving. Every feather of my wing turned into embers. I chose to burn so that you wouldn't. This isn't just a message. This is a divine intervention. If you ignore it, a door will slam shut permanently. A door you didn't even know existed, but one that has everything to do with the relationship, opportunity, and miracle you've been yearning for silently for years. Do not mistake this for a coincidence. My presence is not for amusement. I am here because your light is being pursued and your silence has made you vulnerable. But you are not alone. You are consistently monitored, yet not always by those who care for you. This message had to circumvent obstacles, deceit, and even someone you trusted who attempted to silence your signal. Yes, someone very near to you did not want you to view this, but heaven overruled their intent. I didn't come here to alarm you, but to steer you because a fire is smoldering where you tread. And if you continue, you will walk directly into its center unaware of what ignited it. There's a face you often dream about. That dream isn't merely a fantasy, it's a gateway. It's someone whose energy keeps attracting you like a magnet your spirit can't forget. That person knows. That person senses the change too, but they are fearful to act, and I was dispatched to lead you both. There is a letter that was penned but never mailed. A confession that was murmured to the breeze and never reached your ears. I'm recovering it at this moment. You will discern its indications within the next 72 hours. Someone has attempted to remove your name from something sacred. But heaven recalls. The ink of your tale cannot be erased by the hands of envy or narrow-minded individuals. You believe you've lost time, but time has merely been biding for your courage to materialize. And now it has. Your hands are currently vacant, but not for long. There's something immense being sculpted behind your back. Something swathed in silence and sealed with the tears you cried when no one was observing. They thought they shattered you. They thought you'd cease. But instead you became more formidable to darkness than ever before. At this moment, I'm positioned between you and a decision you're on the verge of making. One path will seem secure but weighty. The other will seem risky but light. Type 222 to claim it. The heavier one is threaded with someone's aspirations for you. The lighter one is threaded with heaven's aspirations for you. You pick wisely, kid. The one you approach will shape the next 8 years of your life. I don't require you to trust every omen, just this one, because this message is the final knock before a door shuts forever. This isn't punishment. This is authorization. Authorization to leave behind a cycle you've grown out of. Authorization to no longer bear burdens that weren't yours initially. There's someone observing you who knows more than they reveal. Their silence is strategic, not innocent. But don't let their fear undermine your faith. Heaven is reorganizing roles as we speak, and you are being promoted. Your name has been exonerated. Your future is already scripted. It just needs your consent. I surrendered my wings. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. You're worth it. But if you miss this moment, the delay won't be days. It will be years. That's how critical this is. The person who once deserted you is about to be brought low in realization. And you won't have to speak a word. The truth will arrive without you making a move. They will dream of your face. They will see signs they can't dismiss. And when they return, it will be with eyes that finally understand who you are. But only if you hang on a little longer. I'm not permanent. This message was penned within a time frame that is closing. I must depart, but I've left something behind in your environment, a sacred realignment. You'll sense it in your body. Your sleep will alter, your room will feel distinct. That's not stress. It's spiritual reorganization. Pay attention to the next person who tries to divert you. They are not sent. They are sent to halt. Not all smiles are blessings. Not all advice is divine, but your instincts are no longer deceiving. You are standing on a spiritual takeoff. Start here. You might think you've taken a wrong path, but you haven't. You are merely being held back to be propelled forward even further. Someone else's disregard is becoming your respect. What they misused will become your multiplication. This resistance exists because recognition invites challenges. But you've already survived the toughest of times. A call is coming soon. Accept it. An email is on its way. Reply to it. An old friend will reappear. Hear them out, but don't lower your standards. You're not the same person as before. By week's end, you'll receive news that alters your entire course. But don't hurry. Type "God is good" if you love God. This isn't a test. It's an alignment. What seemed slow is about to accelerate. What was locked will soon burst open. What you thought was lost will be returned with interest. Before I vanish into light, let me say, don't question what heaven has validated. You're on the verge of being recalled in places where your name was erased. You'll be honored in spaces where you were once overlooked. Someone who once saw everyone, but you will now see you. I leave this message not as a warning, but as a prediction. I won't reappear for a long time. What you do now determines whether the doors open or remain closed. Choose bravely. Choose with faith. Choose with love. My dear child, the story isn't over. It's just getting started. You see, when I shed my wings, it wasn't just so you could read a few lines and move on. It was to disrupt everything around you that was making you feel small, quiet, and trapped. There are entities observing you. Not just angels, not just guardians, but others, hidden spectators, people who smiled at your face but secretly wished for your downfall. Misfire. And here's the twist you didn't anticipate. Some of them dwell in your home. Some share your DNA. Don't fear. Heaven isn't revealing this to provoke terror, but because you need to navigate the upcoming phase with open eyes, not a heart that disregards warning signs to maintain harmony. You've been suppressing cries. You've been swallowing insults. You've been bearing the burden of truth for too long just to shield people who wouldn't care if they witnessed you fall. That ends today. You weren't designed to be their comfort. You were destined to be their catalyst. And at times, being a catalyst means breaking cycles fortified by guilt, shame, and manipulation for years. They deemed you melodramatic. They asserted you overthink. But child, it wasn't. Excessive contemplation. It was heightened emotion. You felt each lie in the room before anyone uttered it. You detected betrayal before the person even dialed their phone. Yet you stifled your intuition to blend with people who couldn't endure your honesty. But I, Archangel Michael, have reappeared once more. This one last time to lift the final veil of mystery. You aren't here to be appreciated. You're here to be released. Every moment you hesitated, every time you thought perhaps not now, the adversary rejoiced because procrastination is his preferred disguise. No longer, not after this message. Not after I breached every celestial rule to find you. Pay attention, child. There's someone who believed they could supplant you. They attempted, they failed, but now they're resentful, and that resentment has a target you. However, they underestimated who's guarding you. You've been ensconced in shadows pretending to be protection. But now light is emerging. With this light comes revelation. A secret is about to surface. Not yours, but someone else's. Theirs. They believed you wouldn't discover the truth. Type 1111 if you love God, Jesus. They assumed it would remain hidden, but justice never gets buried. It resurfaces instead. You'll find a message intended for someone else. It might arrive in your hands accidentally or perhaps by some divine intervention. You'll overhear a phone conversation not meant for you. Don't intervene. Just listen. Because when you hear your name mentioned, your spirit will rise, not fall. There will be a moment in the coming days when time seems to slow around you. That's not anxiety. That's your intuition kicking in. You'll feel it in your chest. The pause, the knowing, that's the sign. That's when everything changes. Someone from your past is reappearing. But not all returns are reunions. Some are final goodbyes disguised as comebacks. Stay calm, child. Your role isn't to react. It's to recognize you're about to witness people revealing themselves without any effort on your part. That's the power of alignment. Truth doesn't require your effort, it needs your presence. And you, my dear, are in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. I know it's been tough. I know you've cried silently. I know you've wondered why the attacks came when all you did was love. But remember, light doesn't get attacked because it's weak. It gets attacked because it's bright. Your light exposed their darkness, your growth exposed their comfort, and your healing exposed their resistance to change. You weren't the issue. You were the mirror. And now that they can no longer distort your reflection, they're scared. But don't look back, not even for closure, because some doors dissolve, they don't close, some bonds dissipate, they don't break. Let it happen. You aren't late. You aren't lost. You are exactly where heaven rearranged you to be. Your steps may have seemed chaotic, but they were divinely planned. Every deviation was a rerouting. Every heartache was a learning experience. Redefinition, and every silence was a cue that what comes next is louder than what's past. In the following hours, someone will recall your name out of the blue. They'll feel compelled to connect. But not everyone who recalls you requires a reply. Discrimination is your shield. Decide carefully. I sense my energy waning again. I can't maintain this form much longer, but before I depart, listen. Your miracle isn't being postponed, it's being readied, because you're not just receiving it, you are about to embody it. Type 777 if you believe in God, Jesus. The very person who doubted you will become the most vocal advocate. The person who left you will admit they never fully released you. The door that was barred against you will open on its own without any knocking. That's what divine reversal appears like. That's what recognition from heaven echoes like. And you are prepared for it. I shed my wings not to rescue you, but to rouse you. You were always capable. You just needed verification, and now you have it. Don't look back. Don't hesitate. Don't justify yourself. Heaven witnessed everything. Heaven knows everything. And heaven is about to acknowledge everything. My dear child, I return once more, even as the vestiges of my light flicker through the openings in your atmosphere. You may not comprehend it yet, but the world around you has already started changing. It began the instant you read this message. Someone who once whispered against you is now under scrutiny by those who trusted them. Their facade is cracking not by pressure but by time. And now they are alarmed. They sense you've awakened. The vibrations around your soul are too intense now to disregard. The people who manipulated you are finding themselves powerless in your company, and that unnerves them. Why? Because you're no longer yielding but standing tall. You're evolving. And child, when someone turns into what they were destined to be, it challenges everything based on deception. You'll soon notice people distancing themselves from you. Allow it. It isn't rejection, it's realignment. Not everyone is eligible for your upcoming phase, particularly those who prolonged the previous one. One of them even attempted to hex you. Yes, I heard it. Not a hex with candles or spells, but a hex with words. They said you would fall short. They informed others you wouldn't succeed. They chuckled when you weren't looking, but I was present. I jotted down every word they murmured, and heaven doesn't forget. Karma isn't your duty. Ascension is. Let them watch. Let them ponder. Let them wish they hadn't questioned someone marked by destiny. Because what's coming next for you can't be imitated, can't be stolen, can't be faked. It is divinely composed. In the next 7 days, a peculiar incident will occur. Something will malfunction. A glitch in a system, an unforeseen message from someone unexpected, a random passerby echoing something you just thought about a moment ago. That's not mere chance. That's confirmation. Heaven will communicate through the smallest things. Now the number you keep spotting, it signifies alignment. The dream you keep having, it's a vision of the future. The person you can't forget, they're linked to a destiny you haven't completely uncovered yet. You are no longer ordinary. You never were. But now the world is about to witness what only heaven realized all along. Your voice reverberates thunder even in quietness. Your presence scares demons even when you're motionless. That's why they tried to shroud you in confusion. That's why they assaulted your mind more than anything else. But I tell you now, you are no longer who suffering made. You are who purpose unveiled, and purpose is louder than history. There will be an opportunity offered for you to seize. Soon it will seem small, but inside is the seed of everything you've asked for. Don't disregard it because it doesn't shout. Some of the greatest miracles arrive quietly. Stay grounded even as progress accelerates. There will be swift success, recognition out of nowhere, a mention in a place you didn't know your name was spoken. Smile when it happens, but don't lose humility, because humility is favored by heaven, not craving. You no longer seek validation. You no longer yearn for attention. You've been nourished by fire, and now you are full of insight. Let the world follow fads. You chase timing, and you're right on track. There is someone who was sent to you long ago, but fear disrupted the bond. Their soul still calls your name in silence. They feel your attraction. They sense your presence. And in their quietness, they are preparing. You think nothing is happening. But behind the scenes, heaven is arranging an unexpected encounter of paths. This person won't arrive with excuses. They'll come with clarity. They'll come with truth. And you'll finally comprehend why every other connection felt incomplete. But wait, be patient. Don't pursue it. Let it find you. The best things often happen when we make the least effort. The more you trust, the more you draw near. As I return to the light for a moment's rest, let me leave you with this. You are not merely selected. You are energized, and the difference between chosen and energized is momentum. Chosen ones carry weight, energized ones stride ahead. And child, it's your time to advance. Heaven has already paved the way. You weren't born to shrink for love. You were born to grow into completeness. If they cannot contain your truth, they were never meant to be with you. And if they cannot match your light, they were only passing by. You are your own light. You aren't broken, you're breaking through. You aren't delayed, you're protected. You aren't forgotten, you're favored. The next time someone mentions your name, they will do so with awe. The next time they see you, they won't recognize what you've become. Because you are not rising, you have already risen. My dear child, I've returned once more. Not because I had to, but because I couldn't leave until you heard the last part. You deserve to know everything. What's unfolding isn't just spiritual, it's historical. The heavens have marked this moment, not in prophecy, but in action. There's a ripple you created without realizing it. Your decision to heal. Your decision to keep going when the pain begged you to quit. That ripple echoed across timelines. And now something that was locked for decades is beginning to open. You thought you were just surviving, but you've been unlocking generational codes that no one else dared to face. Curses that lived in your family's shadow are now terrified because you've awakened. And when a soul awakens, darkness loses jurisdiction. The reason you've been so tired lately, it's not just exhaustion, it's completion. You've been carrying a burden that didn't belong to you, the pain of your mother, the silence of your father, the pressure of ancestors who weren't allowed to dream. But it ends with you. This cycle, this loop, this endless emotional sabotage that kept replaying in your life, it's breaking. Not through therapy, not through conversation, but through your choice. You chose to evolve. You chose to believe. You chose to rise even while bleeding. And because of that, heaven has sent me with a scroll. A sacred scroll that carries your next season. Not predictions, instructions. You're not meant to guess anymore. You're meant to know. Here's what I can reveal now. There is someone keeping something hidden from you, but not because they want to deceive, but because they fear what will be revealed when it's shown. To hurt you. They are afraid. Afraid that once you see what they've been hiding, you'll never view them the same way again. But child, listen. Forgiveness doesn't mean giving them access. Understanding doesn't mean reconnecting with them. You can let go of someone without inviting their habits back into your life. And right now, clarity is more crucial than connection. You've been asking for answers, crying for peace. But now that peace is about to cost you something. It will cost you people. It will cost you the version of yourself that needed them, but it won't cost you purpose. Because what's ahead is bigger than reconciliation. It's resurrection. There's a financial opportunity opening up. And someone you once helped in secret is about to return with a gift. They never forgot how you stood by them, and now they're in a position to honor you for it. Get ready to receive without guilt. You are not selfish for being blessed. You are not arrogant for living abundantly. You are simply aligned. Heaven does not bless you to prove anything. Heaven blesses you because the time is right. The person who saw your worth but was too scared to acknowledge it. They've changed. They were tested in your absence. And life has shown them that no one understands their soul like you do. They're coming back not with apologies but with actions. But child, don't let your desire for companionship override your judgment. You are not the same person as when they left, and they must match your growth to shine in your presence. There's a hidden conversation coming, a meeting you won't see scheduled ahead of time, a divine setup you may not recognize at first. But when it happens, your heart will recognize it before your mind catches up. That's when you'll know. This was the moment Michael spoke to me about. Not all sudden blessings are mere coincidences. Some are prophecies coming true. You are standing in a realm where your prayers are catching up to you, not running away. You aren't waiting anymore. You're welcoming instead. Every delay, detour, heartbreak was a layer being peeled off. Now your heart is bare enough to hold what's authentic, and what's authentic is on the way. Someone will call out your name in a room where doors swing open. That chance will be disguised as something trivial, but what it promises is growth. Don't undervalue divine disguise. Some miracles arrive in humble wrapping. Your hands may have felt empty, but they were simply being prepared to grasp something you've never held before. This isn't just a gift, it's a transfer. A transfer of power, wisdom, and responsibility. Because now you don't just weather storms, you control them. The storm trembles at your presence. Your energy is no longer fragile, it's robust. Your soul isn't doubting anymore, it's steady. Your path isn't questionable, it's mapped out. And what was once a dream is now unavoidable. I depart now not because I've finished, but because you're finally prepared. Prepared to step forward without seeking a sign. Prepared to progress without approval from others. Ready to receive not because you're flawless, but because you've endured. This wasn't about proving your worth. This was about rediscovering it. You aren't being elevated to boast. You're being elevated to guide. The era of shrinking back is over. The era of second-guessing is over. The era of explaining yourself to the unqualified is over. Now you're striding in undeniable grace. My dear child, this is the last time I'll speak in this form. My wings haven't returned. My light still flickers, but my mission is accomplished. You are now standing at the precipice of the moment heaven has been preparing you for your entire life. This isn't just a change of seasons, it's a soul liberation. Everything that held you back, every guilt, every false belief is being shed. Title: You're free, no longer burden. Tag: Every weight you no longer have to bear. You are free. Not figuratively, not spiritually, but practically, tangibly, completely. You no longer need to shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable. You no longer have to over-explain your peace to people stuck in their chaos. And you no longer owe access to anyone who mistook your love for weakness. You did not just survive your past, you overcame it. Now what once sought to break you will bow before you. Listen closely. In the upcoming days, you'll be offered something that resembles a brief chat or an unexpected invitation. But behind it lies the entrance to your next phase. Not merely a fresh chapter, an entire new book. Don't fear the unfamiliar. You weren't designed for normalcy. You were made to change environments, shatter ancestral bonds, and knock on doors that others found too scary to approach. You were created for greatness. At present, 3 things are being bestowed upon you. 1, a divine reversal. Something you believed was lost is returning to you with interest and healing. 2, an unexpected bond. A person you didn't anticipate will hold a key to something you've been missing. 3, a significant upgrade spiritually, financially, emotionally. You are about to elevate in a manner that's indisputable. These things have already been set in motion. They aren't. Hopefully they are in progress. Heaven doesn't communicate in possibilities, it speaks in certainties, but you must stay focused. In the next few moments, distractions will multiply. Old ties may resurface. Old doubts may echo, but you must remain grounded in reality. You are no longer who they once knew. You are who heaven ordained. You will enter a room where people once overlooked you and they will now pay attention. You will be offered a seat where you were once denied. You will be welcomed into a gathering that once excluded you. A place where once your name was whispered in private rooms. Now your name carries influence, not celebrity. Influence and influence cannot be feigned, compelled, or invented. Somebody from your ancestry once pleaded to God for a change. They passed away without witnessing the result. But the result is you. You are the evidence that their prayer was answered. You are the living prophecy. That's why it's been so challenging. That's why it's taken so long. Because this wasn't about just you. It was about everything that would flow through you. Your life is a spiritual legacy breaker. Your children will never experience the pain you did. Your home will never resonate with the same silences you once endured. Your wealth will not only benefit you, it will bless generations yet unseen. Because that's how heaven rewards warriors like you. And now the message I was instructed to convey is unfolding. Not in public view, not on a mountain peak, but in this quiet moment right here and now. And what it communicates is this. This spirit has persevered. This spirit has triumphed. This spirit is now prepared. Unleash the fulfillment. Seal the next chapter. Let the glory arrive. My dear one, this instant is not symbolic. It is a spiritual occurrence. Your timeline has branched off. From this moment onward, the burden will start to lighten. The opposition will diminish. The doors will open effortlessly. You won't have to knock anymore. The rooms are being unlocked for you. Let them be astonished when you rise. Let them speculate how you achieved it. Let them attempt to rationalize your success, but you'll understand. You are guided by God's hand, protected by my shield, and selected by divine fate. And now I utter my final words in this form, not because I am departing from you, but because I am returning to the light so you can radiate. You no longer require signs. You are illuminated, the symbol. You no longer require rescue. You are the change. Rise, kid, it has ended, my cherished child. You assumed it was finished, but heaven never concludes a message without leaving a trace. I return not because the tale needed more, but because your soul merits verification. When I entered your sphere and folded my wings, I dispersed something into your environment that words could scarcely capture. Divine flame. This flame has now entered your life, not to scorch you, but to burn away everything that tried to limit you. Look around. Can you feel it? The silence feels different now. It's not loneliness anymore, it's clarity. Because now nothing fake can survive near you. Nothing that isn't consistent with your destiny can remain any longer. You've become too powerful for facades. Someone in your life has sensed this change. They won't articulate it, but their energy will alter. They will become distant, irritable, agitated in your presence. That's not your fault. It's your frequency exposing their hidden motives. Let them drift away. Do not chase shadows. You're walking in light now. There is a place that once shunned you. In the next 21 days, that same place will resonate with your name, not out of pity, but out of admiration. Because what heaven supports, no one can obstruct. And listen, there's still a surprise ahead. A tangible, real one. You'll receive a message, letter, or parcel that carries more than just data. It will contain proof. Proof that heaven never abandoned you. Proof that your efforts were not in vain. Your tears were not unnoticed. Your silence was not missed, and your suffering was not purposeless. You were being crafted. You were being readied for this precise moment. And now I must disclose something deeper. There is a name you've been clinging to. Maybe due to hope, maybe due to fear, maybe due to love. But child, that name still echoes with significance. Yet I still sense the tug. They still perceive your essence, even in your quietness. However, if they reappear, it won't be to challenge you. Instead, it will be to reveal the truth. Because heaven has been dealing with them privately, and what was concealed within their heart is now emerging. Let them come back with deeds, not speeches. Let them demonstrate agreement, not pledges. And if they don't return, understand this. Somebody worthy already heard your spirit's plea, and they're walking towards you gradually, quietly, but steadily. You won't have to put on a show to be cherished anymore. You won't have to shrink to be noticed. Because genuine affection doesn't puzzle, it verifies, and true alignment doesn't linger, it arrives promptly. Heaven's hand is still on your shoulder, and my spirit, though devoid of wings, still hovers near you. Because even when I disappear from your physical realm, I remain engraved in your fate. Your voice is about to matter in places that once stifled you. Your presence will be sought after by people who once ignored you. You are entering a reversal phase, and in this phase, every loss transforms into gain. Every deception turns into a blessing, and every delay becomes divine guidance. Don't fear when the pace escalates. Don't doubt when everything starts moving simultaneously. You aren't being overwhelmed, you're being rescued. You asked for a sign, you received a message, but now you're about to experience a miracle. And this miracle, it bears your name. No one can seize it, no one can obstruct it. No one can erase what heaven has inscribed. Let them murmur. Let them speculate, let them ponder. Yet you advance quietly, boldly, perfectly aligned. The prophecy is already stirring, and soon it will be manifested. This isn't the conclusion, this is the beginning. Thanks for watching this God message. May God Jesus will grant you abundance in every aspect of your life. Type 220